all for joining us tonight. And he's right. I've called him many times when I found out he's putting in for sewer money. I wouldn't leave him alone until he had a Patchogue into the application. Thank you for joining us. But first, I have to thank some of the county leaders who came before me. I've been in the office for 8 years now, and it's been a pleasure serving the community, but there's been a lot of people who have come before me who have helped make sure that the investments that you've seen in Patchogue happen, whether it's an art space, or Copper Beach, or New Village, or the walkways that you go through, any of the walkways in between, the county has helped make investments in. So first, the former county executive, Steve Levy, who actually can say that he gave me my start in politics. I interned for him in 2001. I saw him here. Can you give him a round of applause? And of course, I call him a legislator. I know he holds a lot of other roles besides legislator and higher titles, but I'm sure, as I probably will be, always remember legislator is one of the best. Brian Foley, whose seat I sit in, whose father's seat I sit in, he's always been in I walk in their shoes and they did a great job for our village. And I can talk about all the things the county has done here, but I'm going to talk about why my wife and I chose to live in Patchogue Village. Because this is the place we call home. It's a wonderful place to live. First, everything's walkable, everything's close. Where we live, we can walk down to the shorefront park, we can walk to the Patchogue pool, and I can still walk to the corner deli to get milk in case my kids run out anymore. So that's the nice thing about Patchogue. It's that hometown, the walkability, the way to get around to town, and do the things that you need to do and the things you want to do. One of the other things that is great about Patchogue is that we have always been a welcoming community. I always say about villages, often villages form to keep people out, not Patchogue. Patchogue for to keep people in. And you heard earlier about our diversity. We have 30% Hispanic population. We have one of the highest rates of same-sex couples moving into a community to raise their families. We had some of the pioneers of the African-American civil rights movements that lived in Suffolk County came to Patchogue to live. It's because we take people in. And we recognize that when you do that, you benefit as a community. All of those people and the talents and the skills they have. Which brings me to the thing that makes Patchogue greatest. It's the community. It's all of you. You look out into the crowd, there are so many faces here. There are people who dedicate so much time and effort to Patchogue. Whether it's plantings, or organizing events, being part of the chamber, being part of the historical society. Another great thing about Patchogue, we have reinvented ourselves over and over and over again. But every time we've done it, remembering who we are in our history, whether it's the preservation of this theater that we're standing at today, to the preservation of the Carnegie Library that I'm so proud to drive by every day. We know to reinvent our downtown and reinvent our community, we have to look back to the past, remember who we are, and bring that out. And we grab and take advantage of every single person who's willing to live in this village and contribute to this village. And that's what we do, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. So thank you all, and thank you, AJ, for seeing us in our village.
As Alex comes up, I just forgot to mention, we're going to be back here next Sunday in Patchogue for the Catholic Health Services Suffolk County Marathon for Veterans and the Freedom Fest right here in downtown Patchogue. So please come back and help raise money for veterans. We've raised $500,000 for our local veterans so far. So thank you, Patchogue.
We're so excited about all of the national recognition that Patchogue received this week. And now here representing U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, please join me in welcoming Magdalene Campbell, her Eastern New York Regional Director, with a message from Senator Gillibrand.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to be here today on behalf of U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. She sent this letter. She sent this letter and a video reading that will be shared later on in the theater, just to say how proud she is of Patchogue and all that you have done, to be recognized as as a 2019 Great Place in America, it is an honor. So here's the letter. Dear friends, I am pleased to congratulate the downtown village of Patchogue as a 2019 Great Place in America. The work done by the American Planning Association and the downtown village of Patchogue to preserve and restore locations is essential to the health of our communities and to the state of New York. The work you have done together is a testament to the importance of preserving and restoring our communities. As we celebrate your positive and meaningful contributions, it is my hope that your efforts inspire others to take part in actions, large and small, to create a better and more beautiful New York. Please accept my congratulations and my best wishes for a wonderful event. Sincerely, U.S. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. Thank you.
Next here, representing Governor Andrew Cuomo, it is a great pleasure to introduce CEO of Empire State Development Corporation, Eric Kerr.
Thank you, Alex. Now let's see if this mic works. Yeah. Good morning, Patchogue. So on behalf of Governor Cuomo, it's great to be here with such an esteemed group of local leaders. And I want to thank the mayor. And I want to thank the Suffolk County Executive, Steve Malone, and of course Rob Clarko, all of you here that have helped to make Patchogue such a great place, as recognized by the American Planning Association. And I agree with what Steve Malone said. What took you so long to recognize Patchogue? Now, I may only have been serving now as the head of Empire State Development for a little bit over 6 weeks. But I know a few things. First of all, I know what it means to have strong local partnerships, which you have here. A great set of strong local, see, they agree. And I also know what it means to create great local neighborhoods. Now, one of the things I like doing is coming early to events. I had a chance to walk through this fair. I realized, first of all, I made a big mistake. I didn't have breakfast this morning. So I walked by the sausage place and the pizza place, and in fact, I had a chance to talk to Margaret at Local Honey, 4 generations of local beer. There's a small business here in Patchogue. So I can tell you from the work that I've done so far, that Governor Cuomo believes in leadership and economic development that is collaborative. It's not just top-down economic development. It's not one-size-fits-all. It's working with the local communities. It's working with our Regional Economic Development Council. And our local leaders, Stuart Vinovich and Kevin Law, are not here. But they understand what it's like to work with visionary leaders like Mayor Pontieri, like with Steve Malone, to make sure that we can ensure that it's a ground-up exercise, and it starts where all of you are here on Main Street. Now, I want to go back very quickly. 23 years ago, in September 1996, in a small local newspaper, the New York Times, wrote about this community, and I'm sorry to tell you, that article was not flattering. At the time, the paper cited the closed and fire-ravaged lace mill. It talked about sagging home values. And as the mayor pointed out, it also talked about the vacancies in 1/3 of the stores on Main Street. And the paper and the article concluded that the village had deteriorating fortunes and not much to look forward to. Well, that was one chapter in Patchogue that was coming to a close. And the article didn't understand about what the future had in store. Because what the paper did not take into account, that article did not take into account, was the people of Patchogue. And the hard work of, as I've learned, and as Rob Clark talked about, the diversity of the community, and the people coming together, and the people who are prepared to write a different story. And today you can see a dramatic difference. And you can feel how vibrant this town is now. Now, I'm a former newspaper publisher, and I understand that it's important that papers get the facts right, and at the time, those facts we're right. But I love when it is the people that write the story, and when the people get to write their own narrative. And now we can all agree that if the newspaper is going to write the story tomorrow, it would be a very different story. And that story would write about how bright the future here is in Patchogue. And that's a testament to the work of your local leaders and a testament to all of you. So I can't wait, yeah. Now I know this turnaround has taken time, it's not been easy, it's taken real leadership, it's taken hard work, but it's thanks to the innovative ideas and community-minded leaders who have worked every day in, day out for the last 2 decades to ensure that the community's fortunes have turned around. And it is the leaders who instead of saying no, have said yes. Yes to transit-oriented development, yes to smart community planning, yes to investing in the arts, including the theater behind us, which attracts over 100,000 visitors a year, and yes to a brighter future. And that's what we get to celebrate today, that we heard. And I know a number of the leaders have talked about the state investments. We're proud to have invested in institutions like St. Joseph's College, which now has a hospitality and tourism management program here in Patchogue. We're happy to support employers and tourists like Blue Point Brewery. And, as you know, we're happy to invest in the infrastructure in Patchogue through the Regional Economic Development Council. So all of that together, in partnership with your local leaders, with the community, is what has made Patchogue a great neighborhood that it is today, that has been recognized by the American Planning Association as one of the nation's great neighborhoods. Now, before I end, I too have a certificate from the governor. I'm not going to read it, but I'd like the mayor to come forward and I'd like to present it to you. So on behalf of the governor, I'm proud to recognize the village of Patchogue and all of your great work. Thank you, sir.
Next, please join me in welcoming someone who I think most of you already know, Brooklyn and Town Supervisor.
Thank you very much. I am joined by Councilman Neil Foley. Brookhaven is a large town. In fact, it is the largest town in the state of New York. Has over 500,000 population. We have 45 different communities throughout this town, but none shine brighter than Patchogue. It is a community with a long and proud history, and like many of us, as we live our lives, it's had its ups and it's had its downs. And we can celebrate now on the upbeat because of the leadership of our village board, our mayor, the entire community. This village rocks. And it is a diverse village with all types of people. And it started out, key and most important, with the river, Patchogue River. It was there the baymen earned their living. It was there that they built boats like the Weeks Boatyard. It was there that they would dam that river and create Patchogue Lake. It is there that that dam would move a mill that would be a landmark for well over 100 years in Patchogue. We've seen Patchogue change. We've seen it up, we've seen it down. And we know one thing. We are only going to continue upwards, doing greater. Today, the United States, the American Planning Association, recognizes the great place that Patchogue is. For me, Patchogue will always be a special place. We all know that. This is our home. This is our town. This is where we live. God bless all those who work on behalf of this village. Thank you for all you've done, Mayor, Village Board, members of the public, ex-mayors, Steve Keegan with this theater, and so many other people. God bless Patchogue and all those who live here, and may we always be looking upward. Neil?
I just want to say, there's one group we haven't talked about. That's the men and women of the Patchogue Fire Department. Thank you. Lastly, everybody, bravo, Patchogue. God bless.
Thank you so much, Supervisor and Councilman Paul. We appreciate that. And now, please join me in welcoming our representative of the New York State Senate, who is one of the first to share this news about Patchogue the very same day that it was announced, our New York State Senate.
Good afternoon, Patchogue. How are we feeling today? Good. Well, I will tell you, I'm feeling pretty darn good. And you should all be feeling the same way. It is so great to be here with every single one of you today. And our supervisor just mentioned a little bit of the history of Patchogue. And I'm going to bring it back just a little bit more. Most of you may not know that I'm a former educator of history. So I'm going to bring you back a couple of years, well, decades, centuries ago. But for those of you who do not know, Patchogue obviously derived its name from the Algonquin language of Patchogue. If you put it in Siri, she says it correctly, actually. Patchogue. And she's completely right. But it actually means a turning place, or where two separate streams separate. And it's so fitting for Patchogue because Patchogue has actually separated itself from the rest of other regions here in the state of New York, and it has become a place that has turned itself around from what you heard negativity to something that is so vibrant, and the fact that it's one of America's greatest places just shows you what it takes. And it takes a village, the village of Patchogue, you, the members of the communities, the trustees, the chambers, the businesses, you name it, every single one of you had a part in this, whether it was 125 years ago when the village was incorporated to what it stands as now. So I am looking forward to completely seeing this village take on more of a vibrant position here in the state of New York and on Long Island, and specifically in Suffolk County. I hope to become also a resident in the village of Patchogue. I am looking. And I'm also hoping for the office to move. It's kind of, we've had little bumps in the road, but it's okay. But we will get there, because I will tell you, I am in village of Patchogue more often than I am in my own home. So I would definitely say that this has become my home, and I'm looking forward to it. I have my meetings here. I just saw the mayor of Parabellum a couple of days ago. I went to the Cuban last night for another business meeting. So this place is such a great place to be, and congratulations to every single one of you, because this is your home and you have earned it. Congratulations.
Next, please welcome our representative of the New York State Assembly. I had the pleasure of meeting the other night, New York State Assembly member Andrew Gershman.
Thank you, Alex. Another round of applause, because we're only here today to represent the something. I represent all the way from Bright Waters East, Patchogue, and to see Patchogue booming like it is, the mayor mentioned them before, but there's storefronts in other towns that are empty, but luckily we have someone who runs the Chamber of Commerce, David Kennedy, here. Patchogue's going, it's just booming, and David always says to me, he likes to bust my chops. We need to get you in Patchogue more. We need to get you in I always tell him, I said, David, I'm in Patchogue plenty. It's just usually after you're in bed. But I grew up in Sayville, just a couple towns over, and always going around. People said to me, "Oh, you grew up in Sayville? I love Sayville. I wish my town was more like Sayville." Now, when I tell people, "Oh, I represent Patchogue," all over, not just in the county, but all over the state, people say, "You represent Patchogue? I wish my town was more like Patchogue." Yay. Who had the guts not just to have the vision of Patchogue, but to act on that vision. The trustees of the village and the very own mayor, Paul Pontieri, we're here because of him. I'm just so happy to be part of this community and represent this community, and I'm so happy you all came out here today. Thank you very much, and go Patchogue.
Finally, I'd like to welcome someone who is so supportive of this nomination from this start. Representing the American Planning Association, please give a round of applause for our grad school friend and president of our local APA New York Metro chapter, Max Sokol, to present the designation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for hanging on with this marathon, and the fun is really just beginning. I want to start by really thanking Alex, not only serving as a wonderful master of ceremonies and the author of the nomination, and I will say, in response to the appropriate comments, why did it take the nation so long? It's that it took Alex this long to author the nomination. Alex is also a close colleague and friend, and whose dedication to making today's program possible and celebrating all that is great about Patchogue is truly inspiring. I want to acknowledge all the distinguished speakers and guests who you've heard from and see, the partner organizations who are making today possible, and everyone, all of you, who played a role in Patchogue's revitalization. A little bit of background about the American Planning Association. It's a national organization, 45,000 members across 100 plus countries. The APA provides leadership in the development of vital communities for all by advocating excellence in planning, promoting education and resident empowerment, and providing our members with the tools and support necessary to ethically meet the challenges of growth and change. There are 47 chapters of the American Planning Association around the country. I have the distinct honor of serving as the president of our New York Metro chapter, which represents the 14-county region of Long Island, New York City, and the lower Hudson Valley, 1,500 plus members. I want to acknowledge a couple of APA local leaders here today, our Long Island Section Director, Sean Sally, and New York City Section Director, Scott Grimlyon. Also our Vice President of Communications, Ella Dokanow, and our entire executive committee. It's also an honor to be here on behalf of APA National President Kurt Christensen, CEO Joel Albizo, and the tireless staff who made this designation possible. The Great Places in America program is the flagship program from the American Planning Association that celebrates places of exemplary character made possible by thoughtful and inclusive planning. Places are selected annually that represent truly the gold standard in terms of having a true sense of place, cultural and historic interest, community involvement, a vision for tomorrow, and most importantly, a legacy of planning. And Patchogue's designation, as you've heard, is also noteworthy because the revitalization is not just about beautiful aesthetics. The reinvigoration of downtown served as an important local and regional economic driver that is making today's many events and everything so much more possible. The nominations around the country go through a rigorous review by a committee of APA leaders who are professional planners to determine the year's designees. Since starting the program in 2007, APA has designated approximately 300 neighborhood streets and public spaces. This year, there were 13 designees made around the country. On September 25th, I had the pleasure of being with Alex and a couple of other APA leaders on Capitol Hill, what's known as Planners Day on Capitol Hill, to present congressional staff with similar designations and launching National Community Planning Month, the month of October, which celebrates and acknowledges characteristics of each unique place that contribute to creating great communities of lasting value, perhaps none better than the village of Patchogue. There are now a total of 22 great places in our wonderful state of New York, ranging from the Coolidge Botanical Garden in the neighborhood of Park Slope, the Grand Central Terminal, and Main Street in Sag Harbor. This year, we have the honor of celebrating 2 places. Yesterday at our annual chapter conference, we celebrated the designation of Governor's Island as a great public space. And today, as you all know, we're here to celebrate and honor downtown Patchogue as the newest great place in America. Representing the American Planning Association, I also want to take a moment to make a personal note. I first had the honor of meeting Mayor Paul Pontieri and County Executive, then Babylon Town Supervisor Steve Malone, over a decade ago through their respective roles in the Long Island Regional Planning Council. In 2011, during a summer fellowship with the Regional Plan Association, I helped to orchestrate a day-long event focusing on case stories of transit-oriented development and downtown revitalization. Mayor Pontieri offered the closing remarks of that event, which was appropriately called Making It Happen, because it's not just about the outcomes, it's about celebrating the process that gets you there. In 2013, village officials, including Mayor Pontieri, generously hosted a walking tour for our APA Long Island section to showcase the newly built New Village project. In the 6 years since that time, downtown Patchogue has continued to thrive with dozens of new businesses and the like. I want to just read a brief excerpt of our chapter's endorsement of the nomination for Patchogue's Great Place in America, which underscores all the reasons why Alex decided to move here. With its thriving local economy, vibrant arts and cultural scene, diverse housing options, easy transit accessibility, and strong sense of place, we hope that you, APA National, will see all that makes downtown Patchogue Village a great place to live, work, and visit. We all know, we've said it multiple times, that Patchogue has been and continues to be a local and regional success story. With this designation, Patchogue has emerged on the national scene, and the downtown revitalization success story will continue to garner the attention and admiration of planners and communities around the country for generations to come. So on behalf of the American Planning Association and the planning profession at large, congratulations to all of you and the village of Patchogue on this well-deserved honor. Thank you so much. With the official designation.
Thanks so much, Max. So before the movement opens, we just need to quickly make everybody that made today's celebration possible. Sean Sally and Max, Mary yourself in the village,
That's my thing.
Daniel Hughes, to our party, Jennifer Baldwin, to our wonderful library, Christopher Bianco, Gary Schleigman, and Meg Sexton of the theater, and Steve Lucas and Jim Rizzo with the Historical Society. So thank you so much. Podium, and our mayor is going to unveil our Great Places plaque.
Oh, I know. I can go down and I didn't know that.